And now, from the Red Gym in Mbci, it's Monday Morning Live with Angela Diboll and Ian Livingston.
Good morning. Welcome back to Monday Morning Live at Mbci. I'm Mr. Livingston. This is Mrs Diboll. We're coming at you again from the Red Gym. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Thanks for joining us, whether you're joining us at school or at home. We hope you have a great week ahead, and we're looking forward to getting it off to a good start here. First up, we've got Riddle of the Week again. Last week was a tough one. We didn't tell you this, but that was actually a riddle submitted by a fan. So that was a custom riddle. So you've probably had a hard time trying to find that one online. We actually did not get any correct guesses yet. We had some really, really good ones, including smoke, fire, carbon dioxide, a few other natural processes, but we don't have a correct guess yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll that to this week, and we're going to double the prize value if you can get the answer correct. The riddle, once again, in case you forgot, is as follows. Poisons the air and blots out the sun. Kills many, yet brings life. Mostly sleeping, sometimes waking, always giving, always taking. First correct answer is winning 2 prizes, which is going to be the equivalent of $20 in a gift card of your choosing. Get those guesses into us, and good luck. Now, we've got a few announcements and reminders for you.
Mbci, we are participating in our first food drive of the year. This food drive, we are participating in supporting Winnipeg Harvest and the people of Winnipeg. To do this food drive is next week. See the posters around the school for the items to bring. At lunch on Friday, October 30th, we'll have our first taste in grade wars. You'll be using the items you brought and you've collected as a grade to build the largest structure you can. Breakable items that are fragile will not be used for this, and the more things you bring, the taller the tower can be. Look at the bright bin in your grade's lunch space to put your stuff in.
Okay, so here are like the 10 most needed things for Winnipeg Harvest. So there's like canned fruit, canned soup or stew, canned vegetables, canned tuna, pasta sauce, rice, peanut butter, baby formula / food, or instant oatmeal.
Your tower could potentially look like this one right here. Each bin will also be weighted at Winnipeg Harvest. Grade points will be assigned according to how many things you have donated by your grade. Make sure you keep yourself updated on the School Talk portion of Mbci, and keep yourself updated on the Mbci Instagram accounts and the one that we have for Mbci Hawks.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for, Campus Talks, an opportunity for students to hear alumni speak. And first up, as mentioned last week, we've got Cindy Klassen with us. She has had so much success and is truly an inspiration. But enough talk, just listen in and enjoy. Hello, Mbci staff and students. We are kicking off this year's Campus Talks with Cindy Klassen, an Mbci alumni who has amassed 115 international medals, 46 of them being gold, was named world champion 9 times, broke 7 international records, including 6 world records. Cindy has given back to her community, working with various charities over the years, both internationally and here in Canada, and continues to work tirelessly to provide girls and women with much-needed opportunities to play sports. Cindy was inducted into the Canadian Sports Hall of Fame in 2017. She now lives in Calgary and has joined us via Zoom, and we are so excited to chat with you for a bit. Hello, Cindy.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hi, everybody at Mbci.
We're going to start with some rapid fire questions just to get to know you a little bit more, some fun little intro questions.
Okay, first off, really important.
What was or is your favorite pre-competition meal if you had one?
You know what? I always had PB&Js before I started my races. I'd have them like maybe an hour or two before I race just to get something in my stomach, and I love them.
Classic.
Favorite
Good choice.
junk food?
Junk food, oh, probably pizza. I love pizza so much.
Everyone does.
Who doesn't? Would you rather text or talk?
I'm a texter. Yeah.
Oh, texter. Okay.
Yeah.
Say any word in Spanish.
Hola.
Oh,
Ooh,
That's
nailed
all-
it.
nicely done. Okay, this is a random one. Would you rather come face to face with a miniature hippopotamus or a giant cockroach? Keep in mind, both are in a bad mood.
I think I'll go with the mini hippopotamus. The cockroach would be
Good
so
call.
disgusting.
Do you eat steak?
I love steak.
Okay, how do you like it cooked?
I like it rare.
Oh, okay. Like
All
bloody?
right, you know what you're talking about then. Are you a morning or a night person?
I'm definitely a morning person.
Mm.
I always have been. And staying up late, I'll fall asleep during movies. When my husband and I will be watching a movie, and I just conk out like around 10 o'clock. And so, yeah, definitely morning person.
All right.
The question of all questions, Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay, last one. Number one thing on your bucket list.
Oh, bucket list. I don't know. I mean, there's places that I'd like to go that I've never visited before. I think that the next place would maybe be India.
Ooh.
I find that very interesting. And so, yeah.
So we've got a few more meaningful questions to ask you now, and hopefully get to know you a little bit better on a more serious note with these, and a bit of a glimpse into some of your experiences and how they've shaped you. Number one, what did your daily life sort of look like when you were a full-time athlete, training at the peak of your athletic career?
It would kind of vary. It would depend on the time of season we're in. And so at the beginning of the season, we tried to get a lot of volume in. So we'd be doing a lot of bike riding, tons of miles on the road. Maybe some inline skating in the summer. And then the ice usually wouldn't come in till maybe July, August. And so July or August was usually the first time we were stepping back onto the ice. And then our days were a bit more structured once we got back onto the ice, so for me, a typical day might be waking up in the morning, having breakfast, heading over to the oval, doing warm up, getting on the ice, working out on the ice, and then a cool down. And that would probably take my whole morning, and then I'd have lunch. Hopefully, if I was lucky and had time, I'd come back to my house to have lunch, and so then I could have a nap afterwards. I'm a big napper, and get ready for the next workout, which it could vary. It might be like a spin on a stationary bike, or it might be doing a weight session, or maybe some dry land workouts. So it would kind of vary. And we would always work out for the majority of the time 6 days a week. We'd have one day off, usually Sundays, and then one of those days would be kind of a lighter day. So maybe I don't know, just an easy spin on the bike one day and not really touching the ice. So it kind of depended on the time of season, but once we got more into the ice sessions, then it was more structured.
What did it feel like to be the flag bearer in the 2006 Olympics and being dubbed the Women of the Games for winning the most medals out of any athlete at the Turin Olympics?
It was just amazing. I mean, my only goal was to make it to the Olympics, to be able to represent our country at the Olympics, and then to be able to be chosen as a flag bearer. I mean, that was an honor way above and beyond. And so it was really amazing. And then also the neat thing was, because the next Olympics after 2006 were going to be in 2010, then when I was marching in, I got to go to the front of the stage with the Italian flag bearer, and we got to stand there just because the games are coming to Vancouver. So I got to see all of the Canadian athletes marching in. I got to wave to them, and it felt like I was just there with them, like walking in with them, but I was on the stage holding our flag, and just it was just something very emotional, and just such a huge honor.
What do you remember most about MBCI, and do you still own any Hawks gear?
Nice. How about like this?
Ah, vintage.
I don't think that's mine. I don't think it's mine though. I found my husband and I, we moved into a new house, and then I was cleaning some stuff out and I found these Hawks shorts, and I'm not sure where they came from because I don't think they're my parents, and they're certainly a lot older than my vintage. So
We actually have a sweatshirt right now with that vintage Hawk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're all dating ourselves with those clothes.
We had some great swag though. I loved it. Like I wore like my hoodies, I wore them all the time, and I was just so proud to be an MBCI Hawk. The things that I remember most about MBCI, I'd say probably the sports. I was so involved with volleyball and basketball. I mean, I played badminton too, and I really enjoyed that. And I just love going to tournaments, making friendships through sports, like friendships that are going to last a lifetime. And just really special moments, great teachers, great coaches. And I loved how small the school was, because you pretty much knew everybody in the school. And so I like that. And I actually, to tell you the truth, when I was younger, when I was in elementary school, went to a public school, and going into grade 7, the first year of MBCI, when I was that age, my parents were sending me to MBCI, but I wanted to go to a public school just because all my friends were going to a public school as well. And so I didn't want to go to MBCI, and they're like, just try it for 1 year. And then once I went and I saw how engaged the teachers are with the students, who they really take an interest in the students, and the friendships that I made, and then also just growing spiritually through the school, and through their religious studies, the chapel, and everything like that. I realized like this is where I want to be, and I spent my junior high and high school years there.
You competed in your first Olympic Games just 6 years after you graduated high school. What advice would you give to your high school self, knowing what you know now?
I think I would tell my high school self to remember that God's in control. And so when I was in high school, actually like from a young age, I was very involved in hockey, and my dream was to make it to the Olympics in women's hockey. And I knew that the first year that would happen was in 1998. And so every season, every summer, off season, I always had that in my mind to make it to the Olympics in women's hockey. And so I was training for that. And then in 1997, so my last year of high school and the year before the Olympics, I got a chance to come out to Calgary and try out for the team. And I came out, I did the tryouts. I thought that the tryouts had gone really well. I thought I was going to the Olympics the next year. And then when I got home, I got the phone call saying that I had been cut from the team. And I have to tell you, I was devastated. I was questioning God, like why? Like I thought that this was your plan for my life, to be a hockey player, to go to the Olympics. And little did I know that he had something else in store for me. And so that year I graduated from high school, and I thought I was going to be moving to Calgary to go to university there and train in hockey. But I ended up staying in Manitoba, and I started going to the University of Manitoba, and I continued playing hockey just like on a rec team here. And I thought, well, maybe I can make it to the 2002 games in hockey. And while I was doing that, I kind of got bored. Like not of hockey. I loved hockey, but I needed something else to do because I was used to playing all the high school sports like basketball, volleyball, badminton, along with hockey. And so I needed something else to do. And my parents suggested speed skating. And my first reaction to them was like, no way, because there's no way I was going to put on one of those tight skin suits or those long blades. Like they looked really funny to me. And so they kept pushing me. And so finally I thought, you know what, I'll just make them happy. I'll go out to a practice. And so they had a connection. They knew one of the coaches, Ann Mishmansky. And so they got me set up, and I went to my first practice, and I thought this will be just like hockey, but way faster because the blades are longer. And then I was in for a big surprise when I stepped onto the ice that first time, because the blades are so narrow, and because of the length, I could barely stand up on them. I felt so awkward. And there I was, like 18 years old, and little 5-year-old kids are flying past me on the ice. And it took everything, my willpower, like just to stay on my feet and get around the ice surface. So it was a very humbling experience for me. And after the first couple practices, my parents said I was pretty quiet and they thought, oh, she's going to give it up for sure. But for some reason, like I really enjoyed it. I loved the challenge just to see if I could get better at it. And I kept going and soon I got stronger and stronger and eventually speed skating became my sport. But if I would have known that in high school, that God had a different plan for me, like I never would have dreamed speed skating. But he was in control this whole way, and he knew he had a plan for me. And even though my dreams coming crashing down with not making it in hockey, he had something else for me. And so I think for me, I would just tell myself, like, just remember God is in control, trust him, and he has a plan for my life.
Well, Cindy, on behalf of myself, Ange, students, staff, and the whole MBCI community, we just really want to thank you for taking the time to share with us about some of your experiences in life, how they've shaped you, and kind of who you are today. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me, Ian and Ange, and everybody at MBCI.
Once again, thank you, Cindy, for joining us. It is not every day that we get to talk to and hear from an Olympian. There will be a full-length version of this interview on social media, so make sure to check it out and have a great week.